Hello, my name's Linda. I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and today I'm making some Christmas cards. So Christmas in July. This is the new Coming Home suite. It comes with a stamp set, you get dies with it, there's paper, embellishments and ribbon. We're just going to be using the stamps today. I'm making 4 cards, and they're going to be small 4x4 cards or 10x10 centimetres if you're working in centimetres. So let's get started. I'm going to start with some stamping. Now I've already put my stamps in here ready. I'm going to ink up using the Memento Tuxedo black ink. So I'm going to ink these up. I'm just using normal Whisper white paper. There we go. And all of these images come with matching dies, so I've got all the dies in here ready. I'm going to colour these in with my stamping blends, and then I'm going to die cut them out. So let's make our card bases. So I'm going to start with the 4x4. So I'll cut this at 8 inches and by 4 inches. I'm going to score it at 4 inches. And then this one, I've cut this at 20x10 centimetres, and I'm going to score this one at 10 centimetres. I've also cut some Whisper white cardstock. I've cut this at 3 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4 of an inch, or 9.5 by 9.5 centimetres. And this is going to layer on the top of our card base. The Coming Home suite doesn't have any sentiments on, so I'm using this one, The Most Wonderful Time, and you can use whichever stamp sets you want, whatever sentiments you have. I'm going to use Oh Christmas Tree for this one. This is the 10x10 centimetre piece that I'm going to put on the front of a card. I've put that into my Stamparatus. I've put my Oh Christmas Tree sentiment in. I've tried to line that up in the middle, close to the bottom. These cards are very simple to make, and they're also a very clean and simple looking card. I haven't quite got the first letter in there. There we go. And here is one of the trees that I've coloured in. I've used Granny Apple Green blenders for this, and a dark crumb cake for the trunk. And I'm just going to stick this to the front of the card. So you couldn't get much simpler really, could you? This is just going to be stuck to the front of the card. So as I said, it's a nice clean simple card, which means it's got lots of white space to it. I've stuck double-sided tape to the back of the card. Sometimes when you're using white paper, you can see the glue. If you use wet glue, and if you tend to use a lot of wet glue, you can see it. I'm going to just stick this to the front, and then we can move on to card number 2. And here's card number 1. Next, I've done one of the cards. I've coloured this in with cherry cobblers and the small Christmas tree, and I've coloured that in Old Olive. I'm just stamping the sentiment at the bottom of my card layer. This time I'm going for a different one. It's the same stamp set. I'm going to pop my car in the centre of my card. I am just doing this by eye actually. And then my small tree, I've just popped a couple of mini dimensionals on the back, and I'm going to position my tree on top of my car. Same deal on the back. I've put some double-sided tape on the back of all of my Whisper white layers. And there's card number 2. Okay, card number 3, I'm going to be using one of the little houses. I've used 30 Flamingo and Misty Moonlight. I've coloured my car in with cherry cobbler. My trees, I've used soft sea foam, and I've also done a small wreath, and I've coloured that in soft sea foam. The bow is cherry cobbler, and then I've coloured the background in with Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to be popping that onto my window, so you won't see the window, but that's going to go up the top there. So let's start putting this together. I'm not actually putting a sentiment on this card, I'm just using pictures. Now these are just a few examples, just 4 examples of what you can do with this stamp set. Obviously there's loads of different ways you can do this. Build up cards with all your little homes and cars, trees, all the little dies that you get. I'm going to pop that up. So I've popped that up on a couple of mini dimensionals. Try and get it straight. I've also popped the car up. I'm going to put that on last. So I want my large tree to be here, and I'm going to put the small one on that side. Then I'm going to pop my car at the front of the house. Then all we have to do is stick this to the front of the card base. There's card number 3. You could actually put a sentiment inside, which obviously you could do that on all of them. For the last card, I have coloured my car in Flirty Flamingo, and all of my trees are soft sea foam. I've done 2 small ones and 1 large one. I've popped up one of the small trees, and I've popped up my car. This time I'm going to be using the Snowman Season Merry Christmas. And I've just put this one on the block. I'm going to ink it up with Memento Tuxedo black ink again. Just stamp this along the bottom. I want this small tree to go behind my car, so I want it to appear to be a little bit bigger. So when my car is stuck on here, you won't be able to see the trunk. And then my small tree, I'm going to tuck that, so I've left a gap underneath the front of the car, so I can tuck this underneath. I'm just adding a few embellishments. The snow is from all the trimmings embellishments, and this is part of the Coming Home suite. And then I'm just going to stick this on their card base. Card number 4. And there we go, my 4 cards are finished. They're pretty quick to put together once you've done your colouring and die cutting. I tend to do my colouring when I'm watching the telly, so I stamp them all out, take in my pens and do a little bit of colouring, then die cut them all the next day. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, bye.